Good morning and happy Wednesday. I am Erin Chase, host of the Dinner Made Easy show here on the $5 Dinners Facebook page, where I am trying to help make getting dinner on the table easier and faster for you. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about I'm going to be showing you a slow cooker teriyaki pork tenderloin that is super, super delicious. We are going to get started with today's recipe. So I have teamed up with my friends at the Kansas Pork Board, and they're a grassroots organization that helps educate folks and connect folks with the best pork products that there are out there and help teach you how to cook them better, which is exactly what I am going to do today. So on today's show, we're making a pork tenderloin. I want to share with you about pork tenderloin before we get started with the recipe. The one thing I need you to know about pork tenderloin and pork loin is that they are the leaner cuts of pork. So when you're slow cooking them, you need to be sure to add in a little bit of extra water, and I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the recipe, especially if your slow cooker runs hot. And what that means, running hot, is that if your slow cooker tends to dry out other food, because pork tenderloin and pork loin is so much leaner, it's not going to let off as much fat and liquid as maybe it's like a pork shoulder roast would. So you might want to add a little bit of water, and I'll show you when we get into the recipe. I do not have a slow cooker that runs hot, but I'm still going to add just a touch because there's not a ton of other liquid going in with the pork loin in the slow cooker in this particular recipe. So this recipe, this is a 2-ish pound pork tenderloin. I've already added it into the base. This is a 7-quart slow cooker. You could do this easily in a 5-quart, 6-quart, or 7-quart. The first thing that we need to do is just sprinkle salt and pepper right onto the pork. Just a couple pinchfuls from my little prep dishes here. All right, if you want, this is crushed red pepper. I would add that right onto the pork loin as well. You could also add it afterwards. You could use this is actually like ground up, sorry. This is ground. You could use crushed red pepper as like a garnish. It depends on how much you want to add, depends on how spicy you want it to be, and also depends on how spicy the teriyaki sauce is that you're planning on using. Okay, next, you'll know I love garlic. It's like well, not every recipe. Wouldn't put garlic in chocolate cake maybe, but I love garlic, and this is going to be amazing. This is about 2 teaspoons of garlic, minced garlic. You could do dried, you could do fresh, crushed, however you prefer to do your garlic, that way. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of spread that around, and well, hopefully this one's just fine. I like to do my onions this way so I can slice them nicely. The paper peels off really easy. I know there's like 18 different ways to cut an onion. This is my preferred way. I just like the way that it slices into half moons with this particular method. So, there we go. There's my little pile of half moon onions, and I'm just going to kind of break them up a little bit, and I'm going to put them on top of and around the pork. These will release a tiny bit of onion, but if you didn't catch the beginning of the video, I was talking about how if your slow cooker runs hot, because pork loin and pork tenderloin are such lean cuts of pork, they don't tend to release a lot of liquid. So if your slow cooker tends to dry out meat, you're definitely going to want to add a little bit of liquid. I'm probably only going to add about 1/4 cup of this, but I love the lean pork meat, and just it's so full of flavor. And then we're going to add in all these other flavors like the garlic and the onions, and then of course the teriyaki sauce over the top. So we are just sprinkling right in. I'm going to shift this forward. Hang on just a second. Last but not least is any kind of teriyaki sauce is just going to go right over the top. You want to coat it really nicely. Any kind. Here's the thing about the Asian aisle for me. The Asian aisle and I, we're like best friends, and I love exploring the different sauces that they have. You can of course make your own. Teriyaki sauce and soy sauce are soy-based. If you can't do soy, you need to get creative or use something else, maybe like a peanut sauce that maybe doesn't have soy. I think some peanut sauces don't have soy. Just read the labels and see what kinds of like combos you love. This one is onion, garlic, toasted sesame. So we have onion and garlic in here, onion and garlic in the sauce. You could just use like just a plain old teriyaki, and we're just gonna go like this. Doesn't this look amazing? I'm gonna make sure the onions get a little teriyaki too. We just want it to coat the pork. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm ready for dinner now. I used probably about 2/3 of this bottle to coat this, and we are gonna set this. Oh, I need to add the water. Huh. So I'm just gonna add about 1/4 cup of water to this, just a little around the edges. We don't want the teriyaki sauce to burn, especially if the pork's not gonna release a ton of liquid. If your slow cooker runs hot with the lean pork loin here. Doesn't this look amazing? I wish I could transfer the smell of the sauce through my phone to you. Ah, fabulous. Okay, low for 8 hours. So let me recap this really quick. This is a 2-ish pound of pork tenderloin. You could also do this with pork loin, which is a little bit larger of a cut of pork. You could also do it with a pork shoulder roast as well. All of these roasts and tenderloins do really well in the slow cooker. Okay, so 2-ish pounds of pork tenderloin. We have salt and pepper. I did a little bit of ground red pepper. You could do crushed red pepper as a garnish instead, or right over on top right now. Totally depends on how much heat you want to add. I didn't add too much. 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You could do garlic powder, fresh crushed garlic, whatever, however you like your garlic. Just add extra garlic. You know me and my garlic. Okay, then we have 1 white onion that I sliced into half moons and sprinkled everywhere, and then poured right over the top of everything a teriyaki sauce. So any type of teriyaki sauce will do. I love exploring with the different sauces and flavors that they have on the Asian aisle. I would encourage you to do the same thing. And last but not least, if your slow cooker runs hot, definitely add a little bit of extra water to it because the pork loin is so lean, you don't want it to dry out. This amazing pork tenderloin, I am super excited to have this for dinner. We will probably serve this with rice. I might slice it up and do maybe with dinner rolls and veggies. I haven't decided yet. I'll have to see what we have and how my afternoon goes and what side dishes I'm going to put with this one. But super, super amazing, delicious recipe. And again, I've partnered up with my friends at the Kansas Pork Board, and they have all kinds of other amazing recipes besides this slow cooker teriyaki pork tenderloin on their website, which is eatpork.org. Love this one. Hope you guys enjoy it too. And I will be back with another episode of the Dinner Made Easy Show next Wednesday. I'll share the recipe that we're going to be making next week over the weekend. So if you want to cook with me next week, or you want to make what we're having on the Dinner Made Easy Show next week, I'll share the ingredients ahead of time. I'm going to get the slow cooker started here, and we're going to have this amazing dinner. I can't wait to see what you guys are having, and I'll answer any questions in the comments, and we will chat with you guys again next week.